quarterback is getting off to a hot start, you've got to catch him before he really gets going. So you change what you do across the defensive front. Instead of the linebackers being back a few yards, you bring them up closer. It's what we call mugging the line of scrimmage, taking away a lot of blocking angles and gaps and maybe stopping him before he can get going.
Mugging the line of scrimmage, okay.
Yeah, in this case.
Space to maneuver at the 40. That good for 22 and a first down.
Well, that's a pretty familiar sight because Ezekiel Elliott in 2016, his rookie year, had 14 runs of 20 yards or more. That led the NFL.
Yeah, he said in the offseason he wanted to be better when he got into the second level, so he's shooting high.
I like that. I like a guy who wants to get better at his craft. Look out, defenses.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you got the two defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
After the penalty, it's Elliott. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. Call it a gain of a couple there as it'll leave him with a second and just 3.
Not a whole lot there after the penalty, but remember, it was 1st and 5, not 1st and 10. So now they can keep grinding out first downs and good things can happen for them. Just 2nd and short coming up.
Not that we necessarily see this as being in the cards, but worth noting that 21 points would equal their franchise record for largest deficit overcome. Certainly plenty of work to do between now and then. Another carry tonight for the workhorse Elliott. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Third and about 3 to go. The Cowboys on 3rd down. They're at 50%, 4 for 8. This time it's 3rd and 3. Out of the gun, here's Prescott. He completes it to Bryant. Prescott finding his big receiver Bryant there for a Cowboy first down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
They go play action here on first down. He's just going to dump this one off to his fullback out of the backfield. And he'll be a little shy of the 25 here at the 26-yard line. It'll be a gain of 8 yards, and it'll be a 2nd down. 2nd down now after the pass completion. Now back to the ground with Elliott. And he'll go down here right around the 23-yard line. It's a gain of 4 there, and it gives him a new set of downs.
2nd and 2 is prime time for a little bit of a gamble, isn't it? Open up the playbook, go play action, toss that bad boy deep. But in this situation, go ahead and give it to your back. Let him pick up a first down. Keep the sticks moving.
Off play action to Elliott. Here's Prescott. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by Landon Collins. And he returns it here to his own 18-yard line.
And that's a great example of ball skills right there, partner. You and I do a lot of games, and I can't tell you how many guys look to run with the football before they've intercepted it. So that's a nice job of focusing on the task at hand and coming away with the interception.
Eli Manning getting ready to go again on offense. How do you think he personally is evaluating his game so far? He was pretty good in the first half, been good so far here in the third quarter. He's got to like it, right?
Not looking for the dramatics here. Not trying to set the world on fire in terms of stats. It's almost like you're driving. Hands at 10 and 2, alert for anything out there, watching for trouble on the road, and making sure you get the team home.
The bus driver. See if he can drive the bus here again on this drive. They'll let Perkins carry to start the drive. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. 10 yards there to start the drive, and just enough by about the length of the football for a first down. And third quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding clock.
On first down, back to Perkins. They'll only get a couple up to about the 30.
You know how we get focused at end of the half and end of the game situations about how much time's on the board and, you know, what you need to do? Sometimes you don't even have to worry about that. That's just smart football. You know, that kind of a lead, staying in bounds, it burns clock, even in a situation that we're not really focused on it.
Play clock winding down. On the give, it's Perkins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. 1 quarter remains here on a Sunday night. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. Back now here on EA Sports. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. They'll need to get the play off quickly. Now a whistle, and I think a penalty here for a delay. No, they're going to say timeout. They did get the timeout in time. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the fourth quarter. They run with Perkins. And a good burst there gets him 7 up to midfield.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run. Got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. On the run, it's Perkins. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the fourth quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football. Brandon, this can be so demoralizing for a defense. They've had 2 opportunities to get off the field. They haven't gotten it done. So now your coordinator, he's going to call every blitz that he has, any type of exotic, something that they haven't seen before. And he's also telling the defensive linemen, don't worry about holding people up. Just get in gaps and try and make a big play.
And not only not getting off the field on 2 opportunities, clock continuing to run. And in this situation with a lead fourth quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Holding offense.
So he was holding from that left tackle position.
Everyone tries to keep their hands inside when they're blocking ever since they liberalized the rules where you can extend them out. But sometimes they get out a little wide and they get detected grabbing some cloth.
Now they'll throw it with Manning. Taking a shot here for Marshall. And that one falls incomplete. A 50-50 ball. A little dangerous. Could have been picked. Now it's third down. Fourth quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead, because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
They'll run here with Vereen. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave them with a fourth down.
How about the fellas with the stars on the side of their helmets rising up on defense? We always hear about the Cowboys' rushing offense. Their rush defense is pretty good as well, I think, because they're so cohesive. Defensive line, linebackers really work well together.
On fourth down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And a bit of a mistake there. This is well into the end zone for a touchback. And now Dallas gets set to take the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, you had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. A first down throw for Prescott. And Beasley with it over the middle. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
They'll set up the screen to Elliott. 7 yards there on the first down screen play.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
Prescott yet again. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Now after the play, oh man, it's Prescott who appears to be shaken up. Hate to see this. Week 1 of the season. We'll be back. The Cowboys on third down. 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now. 3-19. 3-19.
Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped, but I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
To throw is Rush. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. Damon Harrison in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down.
My man, it's been a rough night for that offensive line, and it's only getting rougher. 5 sacks now that they've given up in this contest so far. It feels like the witching hour out here, doesn't it?
Okay, stupid question. What's the witching hour?
Yeah, the witching hour. That's when everything goes haywire late at night.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And the pressure gets to him again. Jay Bromley in there to get him the 6th time they've sacked him tonight. Being just short of midfield, they decide to take a crack at it on 4th down. They don't come through.
Sometimes it's just showing confidence in your defense. You know that they're good, and they'll take care of you. A lot of coaches during the week will announce to their team, we're going to be aggressive, guys. We're going to go for it. Hey, defense, you got me? A little bit of a challenge to them to see if they'll pick up the rest of the team.
We'll see how they respond now. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down. Finally, defensively, they have a little clip to show positive for actually stopping him running the football.
It's been a really long night for them, hasn't it? So they got a little bit of a win there, but let's face it, the vision that he's had running the football has carried his feet to the open spaces and the big yardage all night long.
And flags come in as he gets forward for about 3 yards. Now let's check on the call.
Illegal block in the back. Offense.
So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. They go counter. Perkins. And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. He lost 4 there, and it's third down.
Brandon, it's clearly a running situation when you're up in the fourth quarter. They're going to have to stack the box and make it difficult for them to move the ball.
Made it very difficult right there. Now they need to repeat that effort.
Yeah, bring 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take to slow them down.
On the run, here's Vereen. And he'll be brought down at the 48-yard line. They'll get 6 there on the run, but it brings up fourth down.
That's a really good job right there. Just kept stringing that play out, pushing further and further towards the sideline. Really good fundamentals by that defense.
He was trying to put his foot in the ground and turn upfield. He just couldn't.
No, they really had a picket fence in front of him. No room to find to get upfield.
Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. And that is much too long. That's into the end zone for a touchback. Ezekiel Elliott gets ready to go again here on offense as he shuffles onto the field. He's been a good workhorse. I know we use the word workhorse a lot, but he's been a good workhorse for him in this one.
No doubt about it, and there's nothing wrong with that. That's what you're looking for if you're a back, because that means everything's coming together for you. Big guys up front have created space. You've run through it. You've probably got some help even from the wide receivers who want to catch passes as opposed to block, but they're helping out too.
Yeah, everyone's pitching in. He's had a good game.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen where they're faking people out, the back slipping.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. Jason Pierre-Paul in there to drop him the 7th time tonight. He's gone down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Cowboys in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They're looking at second down now as they search for a consolation score. To throw on second down. Rush. Oh, the pressure too great, and he goes down once more. Olivier Vernon in there to get him, and this pass rush strong now. That sacks on back-to-back plays. And unable to connect on the long pass. It falls down incomplete. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Here's Rush to throw. And that's caught by Beasley. He's at the 30, the 20. Touchdown, Cowboys. Cole Beasley, 80-yard touchdown. And the Cowboys cut into that lead.
And that touchdown puts us in a position to have a discussion, doesn't it? Now it'll be a two-score game after the conversion.
Yeah, I mean, there's no doubt with a two-score game they're going to have to onside kick it. We'll just see if they've got a miracle up their sleeve.
And you wonder what onside kicks they're going to use and in what sequence if they hope to have a chance to win this game.
So that drive spanned 5 plays. 2 scores down, 3 timeouts left. Still a chance if they can somehow get this one back. And this is going to be covered up by the Giants. They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Now the defense going to use the first of their timeouts. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. So here we go, 1st and 10 now. And to give this time to the tailback. Down to about the 22 here. Now a second timeout called for by the defense. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. And after the play on the ground, that brings up 2nd down here. Now a handoff here to his running back. And on this one, he'll get to the 15, right at the 15-yard line. Now the defense will burn their 3rd and final timeout. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. A gain of 3, 2nd down. Able to stay in bounds, and the clock keeps rolling. And this defense right now backed up in the red zone. Another touchdown, it's over. They've got to stand tall quickly.
Been in this spot before. Now there's a little bit of desperation creeping in. And all you're doing when you're talking to your defensive teammates is, first guy there, hold him up. Second, third guy in, rake at the football. Get it out. We've got to create a turnover because one more score, and this game's over.
And before they can run this 3rd down play, we're going to get a timeout. That'll leave them with just one remaining in this 4th quarter of play. The Giants on 3rd down. They've hit on half of them, 5 for 10. This is 3rd and 7. Here's Vereen. And he won't have the touchdown, but he will have the first down as he's tackled at the 2. 10 yards is the pickup there, and that should just about put a bow on this one. They'll let the shorter back Perkins run it, and he takes it into the end zone for a giant TD. Paul Perkins, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Giants add on to their lead.
Well, partner, I know that you and I were raised that in this situation, just take a knee. You got the game pretty much salted away, but instead of that, they throw it. Another touchdown.
Yeah.
Can't wait to see this post-game handshake.
Maybe a conservative run up the middle, but to pass the ball and then score, yeah, some awkward handshakes coming up.
Yeah, this could be one of those, yeah, nice game, buddy.
And, partner, this first week, this first game that we get to call together, so special every year, week 1. You had the flyover, the big American flag out there before the game, all the hoopla, just having football back, so special.
It is an opening day, opening game. There's just nothing like it because you really build to a crescendo. But the best part for us is that crescendo lasts for a while. Opening game here, an entire season. We get into the playoffs, to the Super Bowl. I was really excited. I could barely sleep last night. I can't imagine being a player.
So for the Giants, it'll be a happy trip home as they start the season with a road victory here on a Monday night. And they'll return home next week to take on the Detroit Lions. Meanwhile, for the Cowboys, they obviously fall to 0-1 with the defeat. And they'll look to get back on track next week as they travel to Denver to take on the Broncos. So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we say good night, everybody.
Now let's take a minute to see how you can improve your team.